fairly serious poems. Donal and I went to Rome just before Easter and got serious museum foot because we went everywhere all day and conked out in the evening about 9 o'clock most of the time, though we did find a very nice restaurant and spent too much money. But these poems are all about Rome. I wrote them when I got back. I'm going to start with one which is very serious, and it was the starting point for all the others. It's just called Rome. The city calls itself eternal, harbours the kernel of an old implacable order, nested behind ramparts of privilege, dark stone walls, the shell grown ancient, decayed, flayed of marble by each generation, to build new monuments to the lust for empire that survived barbarian fire and sword. Gap-toothed walls left to stand speechless mementi mori, art everywhere in service to that central power. Pagan gods irrigate the city to the glory of pious popes. This city tells its story in stone and marble and in voices. Groups of giggling girls on Sunday in the Borghese Park, boys who pause their games to turn and call, "Che bella!" Lovers kissing in the scented dark, sharp-voiced matrons shopping or at prayer, sharp-eyed restaurateurs at their doors, wreathed in their kitchen's air of oil and garlic, beggars in the porch of every church murmur, "Per l'amore di Dio," tourists crowding at the Trevi fountain, calling, polyglot, "Stand there!" A tourist guide in Philadelphia drawl, "Well, guys, Rome survived its fall." The homeless couple roosting in their rags beside the termini, they do not speak, but beneath the giant poster of Armani grooming, each in turn keeps watch while the other grey head sleeps. We wandered into a big 16th century palazzo, which had a really boring exhibition in the base of it. We accidentally, as it were, went upstairs and found a suite of rooms that was being restored. And luckily we weren't discovered for a little while. And we wandered around taking photographs of each other in this amazing place. I've written this short poem called Palazzo. Time, drifting from painted walls, hovers in the air, caught by sunlight slanting through tall slatted windows. Sunlight and time dust limn your profile. Motes made from princes' servant skin and their frescoed likeness fall lightly in the shadowed hall. We leave our own time dust dancing with the past. Still in Rome, we visited Keats' house, the house that he died in fact. He only lived there for about 2 months. He died when he was 25, as I'm sure all the poets in the room know very well. It's a pink stucco house right next to the Spanish Steps. I don't think it was as busy on the Spanish Steps when he lived there as when we saw it. And there were some really very moving things inside it, manuscripts, also a life mask and a death mask. And his friend John Seven, who nursed him to the end, had made a drawing of him actually on his deathbed. And this is called, it has some Keats in it, it's called Pale Were the Sweet Lips I Saw. Outside, the piazza brims with affirmation. Workmen whistle by, housewives marketing, ragazzi mocking and flirting at the fountain. In his pink Roman sanctuary, John Keats's friend creates his image, the living mask, the dying head, dumb witness to the beauty of the man, the poet, the invalid, whose pale sweet lips Fanny nevermore will kiss. He carries the crimson bowls, the detritus of his racked lungs, until Keats meets the soft embalmer of the still midnight, and leaves his friends to mourn and weep that Adonais is dead. I'm sorry, Winifred, it's a bit sad. Final one to do with Rome, if I can go to the right page. Sums it up in a way. It's just called Tourist. In a dream I stood in Rome. I was the dreamer and the dream. I stood on one spot. I was the cobblestones where my centurion sandals rested after the long march home from Gaul. I was the fearful Christian listening to the roar of the bloodlust, and I was the lusty citizen hurrying to the arena. I heard the gossip, saw Caravaggio lurching drunk and dangerous, heard Loyola cry, "For shame!" Smelt the roasting flesh of heretics. I was the stylish fop, twirling my kerchief in my carriage on the way to the opera, as it rolled across the spot where I hailed Mussolini's jack-booted troopers. In my dream, I was the pavement trodden by 1 billion feet. I was the beggar of every era on that spot, witness and citizen, dreamer and dream, tourist of all the centuries.